Hey guys, I'm going to show the Sandpile algorithm. I'm going to do a brief overview and not go into the actual code. A sandpile is a grid of 3 by 3 cells filled with numbers, and each number in that grid has to be between 0, 1, 2, and 3. You cannot have any numbers above 3 in a sandpile. So this function is coded in C. It takes two grids from the main file and adds them together. And then from that resulting grid is going to topple the grids until all of the numbers inside the grid are 3 or less. So to show how that works, we have the initial grid here, which is made up of all 3s, and then the second grid here. These two get added together, each cell adding to it, so 3 plus 1 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, and so on. And when you get to this resulting grid from the addition, you're going to topple it. What toppling means is that you take any number that is above 3 and disperse it to the left, right, up, and down. So this 4 is going to become a 0. There's going to be one that goes up into a non-existing cell, and then to the left to a non-existing cell, and then one that goes over to make this a 7, and below to make it a 7. We repeat this process for every cell in the grid until we get to the last cell that needs to be toppled. Rather than doing a for loop and making sure every single, a basic for loop and making sure every single cell is toppled, what needs to be done is only toppling the cells that were above 3 initially in the grid. So for example, if we look here, this 4 is going to topple. It's going to turn this 2 into a 3, and this 2 into a 3. Then we're going to go look at this cell, which turns this 3 into a 4, and this 2 into a 3. And then this 6 is going to turn this 3, increase this one, and it's going to turn this 3 into a 4. But this was not above 3 originally at the start of this grid, so we're not going to topple it. We ignore it and keep going to the next cell that needs to be toppled. And we don't backtrack to retopple anything in the cell. We just end up with whatever the resulting grid is, which in this case is going to look like this. And we go through and topple that until it becomes this one, and topple that until we have everything is 3 or less. That's a brief overview of how sandpiles and toppling works.